It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Tuesday, January 15, 2019, and it is 7 a.m.
Whoop, whoop.
On a kind of a cold/chilly morning here in North Central Arkansas.
It's
Cold
not
or
too
chilly?
bad outside. It's chilly.
It's chilly.
It's chilly
yeah.
to me.
32 degrees right now at 7 a.m. And so, it's the middle of January, so what do you expect? Sure wouldn't be 72 degrees at this time of the day.
No, they're calling for some yuckier weather later, though.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I looked over because I got a youth team's headed over by Willard, just outside of Springfield, and they're saying 3 to 5 inches over there.
Yep. Anyway, good morning. Welcome Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host. I'm with Scooter Callis today. Most of the show today will be a pre-recorded section. We'll have Servpro come in, and you'll be enjoying those guys here in about 15 minutes or so. And anyway, I need to tell you about Brood Awakening Coffee. You heard Jacqueline say in the introduction. We've got 3 locations to serve you. We've got Balmer Boulevard, which will be very busy coming up here in the next 45 to 50 minutes. Balmer Boulevard leads into the Mountain High School in the junior high area. And folks will be getting their Brood Awakening Coffee this morning on Balmer Boulevard. And then we got 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness. That's a drive-through also, and really easy in and out. And they've got everything you can imagine from Brood Awakening Coffee. Then, of course, we got Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby. And if you're stopping by the hospital, visit a friend or somebody, stop by and have some Brood Awakening Coffee. Best coffee in town, Brood Awakening Coffee. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, just drinking muddy water, right?
You got it.
You in water or coffee? You haven't had coffee yet this winter, have you?
I haven't.
Yeah.
No.
Just not your thing, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes I enjoy it, but it's been a while.
Anyway, check them out. Brood Awakening Coffee, 3 locations to serve you right here in Mountain Home. And like I say, Balmer Boulevard is going to be getting busy, but 2 other locations to serve you. And appreciate Mike and his staff for sponsoring the program. Been with us for many years, and appreciate those folks very, very much. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas brings you the morning prayer each and every day right here in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Roller Funeral Home is here to serve you. And you think, ooh, really? No, well, seriously, Charlotte and Bruce were here last week, and really impressed with their professionalism and the in-depth details of what they know to do, whether it's an emergency, whether it's, just an anticipated passing of a loved one. Either way, they're going to help you with the utmost professionalism. So be sure to check out Roller Funeral Homes. Call Charlotte, Bruce, Brad, any of them at Roller Funeral Homes in Mountain Home. Excuse me. And they will take care of the needs for your loved one. And so, very professional. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes. Right?
You got it.
You got it.
Great group of people.
You bet. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, let's pause now for the morning prayer. Heavenly Father, today at noon, our governor, Asa Hutchinson, will be sworn in for his 2nd term as governor. And then later today, Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin, Attorney General Leslie Rutledge, Secretary of State John Thurston, Treasurer Dennis Milligan, Auditor Andrea Lee, and Land Commissioner Tommy Land will be sworn into these offices as well. Lord, I pray for your wisdom, guidance, and protection on our leaders. Also, the State House of Representatives and the State Senate are in the 2nd day of the legislative session. I pray that their decisions will be based on your wisdom, and they will seek you in all the decisions they make. Lord, I pray you bless the state of Arkansas and our people in this great state, and that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
And now, dun, dun, dun.
Hey, not bad. You've been practicing.
Some days are good, some days are not.
Morning weather brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Old Time Restaurant, best breakfast, best lunch in town. Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11 a.m. Can't beat Old Time Restaurant. And the special today is...
We got 2 pancakes, 2 sausage, 2 eggs for $5.88 for breakfast. And for lunch, we've got Kimmy's famous homemade meatloaf. Comes with 2 sides, roller cornbread for $6.88.
Yep.
Can't beat it. Try some of the pies and give Amanda a hard time.
There you go. Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Oh, tell you what, breakfast last Saturday was so good.
I got busted yesterday, by the way.
Busted?
when I was telling everybody, give Amanda a hard time and tell you it's from
somebody
Bob.
took you seriously?
No, somebody was listening to the show.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, my wife didn't find that comical. I got a text.
Uh-oh.
I better look some more
Well,
to see if
now the
she's-
big question is, does the dog house have heat?
Yes, it does, by the way. It's pretty quiet in the doghouse. It's kind of nice sometimes.
So out the back window comes a bone laying in the backyard.
There you go.
Maybe we better not give Amanda a hard time today.
I go in there, give her our time. She loves it.
Old Time Restaurant on the Square, Mountain Home. Best lunch, best breakfast in town. Check them out Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday morning until 11 a.m. Morning weather brought to you by Old Time Restaurant. Today we're at 32 degrees here in Mountain Home, 31 at Harrison. It's warmed up to 36 at Hardy. It's 34 in Mountain View, Arkansas, 34 at Yellville, and the same in Marshall. Calico Rock, beautiful little town of Calico Rock, Arkansas, along the White River. 32 degrees right now. Around the region, St. Louis is checking in at 30, Poplar Bluff at 34, 32 at Branson, West Plains at 32. And in contrast, it's only 25 in Watford City, North Dakota. It's, 7-degree difference between here and there. It's not too bad. On the national radar, several things out west. In fact, let me back up, Screw. I'm going to back this up real quick. This has popped up on the Weather Nation. Forecast winds, this is for the West Coast. Strong winds and dangerous surf for the Northwest. This is an area of low pressure developing in the Pacific Ocean and is heading towards the West Coast. And what the reason I'm talking about this is going to be our weather maker come through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we'll get to the forecast here in a minute. Understand a little bit better what's going on. But anyway, now the national radar here. California, Arizona, Utah, Idaho, Nevada getting some precip right now. It's kind of strange we're not seeing it come into the west coast of Washington and Oregon where they normally get the showers. But a little bit in Texas, a little bit in the Carolinas. And so overall, Missouri, Arkansas, and Illinois are clear. And check that Little Rock stop real quick. Oop. No, we won't. Let's try again. Oop. Okay, so let's try Shreveport, Louisiana. We'll get southern part of Arkansas. I see Texarkana to Hot Springs and Pine Bluff there along I-30. Back that out and go to Memphis. On the eastern part of the state, Little Rock to Memphis on I-40, and you see Mountain Home east towards Jonesboro. Highway 62, 412, Highway 63, Interstate 55, 155, and 555 clear at this time, and 40 east out of Little Rock. And let's see if we pick up the Fort Smith or somewhere in Oklahoma real quick. West side of the state, I-40 going west towards Fort Smith. You see I-49 there, north to south, Fayetteville and Fort Smith. Highway 65, Little Rock to Branson in good shape, as well as 62, 412 west with no precip. That's kind of odd when you can't get that Little Rock stop to come in. Around the region, the St. Louis area, Columbia, Missouri, I-70 east to St. Louis. Then east of St. Louis out of Missouri into Illinois, Vandalia, Effingham in good shape. East St. Louis, Illinois, east on 64, Interstate 64 to Mount Vernon in good shape. Interstate 55 coming in from Sykes and Cape Girardeau into St. Louis, no problems there. Rolla, Lebanon, I-44 into St. Louis looks good. Southwest Missouri, I-44, Joplin, Springfield, Lebanon, I-70 east, Kansas City to Columbia, not bad at all. Forecast for today. Patchy fog, then mostly cloudy, a high of 41. Tonight a low of 34. Then Wednesday a high of 50 with mostly cloudy skies. Wednesday night, here comes the rain. 40% chance of showers on Wednesday. A high of 55 on Thursday. Chance of rain, then partly sunny. Thursday night a low of 35. Friday partly sunny, a high of 51. Friday night a 70% chance of rain likely. And then Saturday, they're saying rain likely, then rain, snow likely, 70 and 60% chance there with a high of 47. Wonder how they're getting the snow in that forecast with a high of 47 and a low of 40.
I don't know.
Well, let's check Saturday night and see what they say. Oh, here's the kicker. Saturday night, a low around 15.
Yeah, that's cold front comes through.
I figured that cold front just didn't make the...
And right now, they're still really...
speculating.
Yeah, they don't really know exactly what that storm's going to do.
It depends what I've seen. They say the models, and they say, well, the models indicate if it comes across, it could skirt across the middle part. Say, let's pick on I-44 like it did last time. if that jet stream skirts and comes I-44 and comes back up, say it goes to Springfield, back up to Indianapolis, ain't going to affect us that much. It could stay north of I-70.
Yeah.
You know, it just depends on how far down that really cold air comes. But Sunday, a high near 25. Sunday night, a low around 10. Then Monday, a high near 34. We got some cold weather coming if it actually, but like they say, you know, it quite a bit in question. Anyway, it's going to be cold, maybe some rain, maybe some ice. Anyway, drought monitor looks good in Arkansas. We checked that yesterday. Everything's good there. Minor parts in Missouri, not too bad. Missouri traveler information around the St. Louis area and the eastern part of Missouri. We still have mostly clear roads, still some patchy places around the St. Louis area and north and northwest of St. Louis. Highways in Arkansas look good at this time. And so, morning weather is brought to you by Old Time Restaurant. Meatloaf today, you said?
Meatloaf, homemade meatloaf.
Oh, so good. Wow. Wow. Check them out. Old Time Restaurant on the square in Mountain Home. Community News brought to you by Affordable Housing, 741-2883. This is laying on my desk this morning. There's a commemorative open house at Henderson Fire Department this Saturday, January 19th from 2 to 4. Recognition of service with food and drink served. Come celebrate with us. Henderson Fire Department, folks that don't know, it's just east of Mountain Home and just across the bridge. You'll be in Henderson on Highway 62. And Henderson Fire Department's commemorative open house, Saturday, January 19th from 2 to 4. Going to be a lot of fun. Come celebrate with us.
Awesome.
I think I had the Texas Hold'em, the Baxter County take two. The Baxter County Library Foundation will have their Texas Hold'em tournament Saturday, January 26th at Big Creek Golf and Country Club. $100 donation to the library is for one seat. Table seating of 6 is $500, which includes lunch. Registration at 11 o'clock and lunch is served from 11 to 11:30 to 1. This is very small print here, and the play begins at 1 o'clock. Prizes will be awarded. For more information, call Jennifer Valoria Dunn at 870-580-0980. What you got?
This Thursday, the Mountain Home Bombers high school wrestling team will be having a tri-meet here at home at the hangar. And it starts at 5:30. We encourage everybody, whether you've got a kid that's wrestling or not, go out and support the Bombers. I think you'll really enjoy to see some of them matches and what they do and just have a lot of fun. And it's really encouraging for the kids. So I encourage people to come out, watch, 5:30.
Got to get to the break a little bit early today. We got to fit in this. We got Servpro with Eric and Mark, and I think you'll be amazed at some of the things we get to show you coming up. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. The next section will be pre-recorded, so stay with us.
Breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At Bacco Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact Bacco Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
And we're back, and I want to welcome to the studio Mark Tyer and Eric Greene, and they represent Servpro right here in Mountain Home, and they really helped me out. And I'll tell you what, when I found them on, I guess it was Facebook, I thought, I need to go see these guys. So I went out there, I had a little incident, and so, wow, talk about bailing me out.
Well, that's what we're there for.
For those that know me personally, I went through kind of a tough year in 2018. My mom developed cancer, and I was her caregiver, and with that, and I have to be honest, there were some medical odors, and then, you know, when you're out of the house and a little puppy dog is there and the Alzheimer's dementia kicks in, and all of a sudden she didn't remember to take the dog out, guess what happened? So you get a little bit of an odor, and so I want to thank you guys publicly for coming out. They did a training session at my house with a new technique that really is top notch, and I can't say enough good things about Servpro and Mountain Home, but Mark's here and Eric's here, and we're going to talk about this. We got a few pictures to show and what they can do, and so Mark, take it away.
Well, that's, you know, we're glad to help out, Dale, and we get that call all the time. You know, we get everything from skunks that have sprayed too close to the house, and you know, we can control that odor. Most of the time, it's not foolproof on skunk odors, but you know, homes can get all kinds of odors. We get a lot of calls from real estate on, you know, the houses that have the smoke. You know, somebody's smoking in the house, has smoke odor, or the cat lady's house that, you know, you can imagine the odor in that, and, you know, the houses are listed, nobody's looking at them because of that. So, you know, we can go in and you know, usually it just really needs a deep cleaning just to really get in and clean the carpets, and then we have some odor like thermal fog and ozone that we can put into the house and help control that odor. You know, with odors, it's not always foolproof, but we'll throw everything that we've got at it, you know, to eliminate it.
Yeah. And it made a big difference. It really did. You know, when you're a caregiver and you're dealing with the health of a loved one, sometimes the pet comes in second or third, you know, because, you know, you got to deal with the medical situation.
Well, in your case, too, you know, when you're living in the house every day, you get kind of immune to it.
You do. And,
you know, you don't really notice it, but when somebody comes to visit, or, you know, somebody's in your house for whatever reason, they notice it. And so then it makes you a little bit more sensitive to what it is and that it needs to be addressed. And so just keep in mind that, you know, that's one of the many things that we do at Servpro. You know, we probably do more water losses than anything, because you think of a house, you think of all the different water sources that's in a house, you know, from dishwashers, ice makers, toilet showers, washing machines. You know, things happen with those. You know, I have a ice maker in my house, and I cringe every day because I know it's just a matter of time, because we get called for so many ice maker lines, and it's just that little 1/4-inch line, you know, that goes to it, that it's amazing how much damage that they can leave in a house.
I know.
And I mean, it can go throughout, and especially nowadays with the laminate flooring, that's gotten real popular, it'll go underneath that, and it just keeps going. And
the thing is, they use that little 1/4-inch plastic line, and it can get a pinhole in it, and you can't see the leak.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, where's this water coming from?
Yep.
And what I want to know is, how does it get the leak that far above the floor?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we have houses that a water line will get a leak like that inside of a wall cavity, and it's a 25-year-old house. But we did one not too long ago where the water line, when they ran the water line, there was a nail, so you had the copper water line and then the galvanized nail, and it took a number of years, but just that, I guess, a chemical reaction, you'd call it, that between those two, it created a hole in that water line, and flooded the kitchen and most of the house in that case. But that's the water losses are probably the most common call we get, and typically it takes a day or two to a lot of times you've got to move furniture, things out of the way to where you can get to it, and sometimes there's a little demolition involved where we have to take out, if it's in a kitchen, the kitchen cabinets sometimes have to come out, because what's happened with a lot of the older houses, they started with linoleum and then they came back and they put laminate or something over the top of it, and then that linoleum just creates a water barrier. The water gets underneath it. Our fans can't dry it because we can't get to it, and they built the house on top of the linoleum. The kitchen cabinets are on top of the linoleum, so you have to take all that out and to get the linoleum out so we can get into
this
to
is
dry.
kind of like you got to take the bread off to get the bologna to wipe off the mayonnaise, right?
It's exactly the way it is, and sometimes it's many layers of condiments to get to the damage. But
so if you got mustard between the bologna and mayonnaise on top, you're in a world of hurt, right?
You are. You're gonna have some disruption in your home. But
oh my goodness, I never thought of that.
We know that when we get called out to a home, it's probably that homeowner's worst day. We hear it over and over that they've had insurance for 35 years and never had a claim, and then here we are. But it's good that we're here to help them out like that. But they just don't understand. So we take a lot of time training our guys to put them in the situation of these homeowners that it's I
think there's 8 guys at my house, and once we got the little dog out of the way, the dog wanted to greet everybody, and so very professional and very knowledgeable, even though it was a training session. I was so impressed with how quickly the whole process transpired, and then the total results. Even what was it? I think it came out on the 4th or the 7th. Was it I think it was a Friday the 4th.
Yeah,
it was, because I just taken down all the Christmas decorations. Yeah.
All right. But it and it never happens at a good time either. But we usually get a lull around the holidays. Even if something happens, people will kind of get the wet vac, take care of it, and then as soon as the holidays are over, our phones start ringing. And we understand that. And if we work with the insurance companies, we let them know what's going on. So, because we're usually graded on the timing of the whole claim portion of it,
right?
And because the insurance company wants to get that homeowner back as soon as they can. So, as soon as the claim starts, it's more or less the clock starts ticking on us. So, we typically have a day or two to get everything prepared. And then the drying portion of it on a water job is usually 3-4 days. And,
but here's the kicker, though. You come in as a professional and you've got a job to do, but yet the insurance company wants it done as cheap as possible. So that's where your professionalism kicks in, right. The timing, the tools that are needed, the personnel that's needed. Because you've got this ceiling that you can't go past, but yet you've got a job to do. So how do you this is almost like a juggling routine, right, Eric?
It is, and to speak to that, how we work with insurance carriers, I think one thing that folks may not know, may not realize that Servpro brings to the table that you wouldn't be able to, I guess, get with independent companies. Is that, I mean, each Servpro is independently operated, so it's a local company, but it has it's part of an umbrella that is nationwide. It's the largest footprint of its kind in the industry, and because of that, we have people at the corporate level that develop relationships with these carriers, so that when the time comes on the local level, you get the benefits of that agreement, and that's what plays out when there is a loss in a home. You know, the carrier that it's involved with, we've already had the conversations of what to do, how to respond, what the protocols and, you know, procedures are unique to that carrier, and then it rolls over into benefits and savings of time and money and warranty and that kind of thing to the property owner.
So now, on your level in the executive area with Servpro, how much research and development goes in to help these guys out in the field in Mountain Home or Springdale or maybe even Springfield, Missouri? There's got to be a lot of research and development, because you've got to get in, get out, get it done, and get paid.
Absolutely. There's a lot of research and development. At our corporate office, which is in Gallatin, Tennessee, there's an ongoing system of training, product development, procedure development. They're constantly inventing some of the things that we do and how we do them, just for that. And we're also the only company in our industry that has a staff chemist. Like we have a chemist that you can pick up the phone and call from any Servpro, you know, in the country and ask him a question, you know, or ask his staff a question, and they manufacture in-house the majority of the products that we use for cleaning out in the field.
So you develop our own
cleaning products,
and it's very technical on the pH levels. You know, you have to, you know, there's stains out there that, you know, we find it all just in our households that, you know, are very difficult to remove, and that's what these guys are taxed at. I mean, they create chemicals, and it's based on the pH and the acidity, and so if, you know, if it's a stain that's like a blood stain, then, you know, there's a chemical that's, you know, designed to you know, attack that.
So there's a lot of research in here.
It's amazing.
It's pretty interesting to go visit and get a tour of the place and just kind of hear. It's like being in chemistry class.
They have a house built in a warehouse, and they smoke it just like a burned house, and that's how they train, you know, the guys. They bring them in, and, you know, they're hands-on training in a warehouse like this. There's a two-story home built in the middle of the warehouse.
We're visiting with Mark and Eric of Servpro, and so we need to take a quick break. Scooter, take us to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
When you And we're back visiting with Eric and Mark of Servpro, and I want to bring this, I got a screenshot here I want to bring up. This is the service area for the Mountain Home Servpro. There we go. You can see it picks up the K26 Harrison viewing area along with XL7 television. It covers a lot of Missouri from Hollister, Forsyth, Brown Branch, Thornfield, all the way up to Pomona, just south of Mountain View, Missouri, including Mountain View, Arkansas, Tyer, Koshkonong, West Plains, South Fork, Bakersfield, and so folks in the viewing area all across the region, Bull Shoals, Yellville. This is the Servpro service area from the Mountain Home location.
Right, yeah, it's typically an hour and a half drive is, anything over an hour and a half, it just, it's difficult to
Sure.
work a job like that just from the drive time of it. And
So you limit to 90 to 100 miles, basically?
yeah, I mean, we build relationships with adjusters and south especially, once you get Marshall, Jasper, Ponca down in there, then there's not another Servpro to pick up anything until you get to Conway. And so adjusters will have something just kind of out of our area, and we'll work with them. They'll agree to pay a little extra drive time and some overtime to get our guys down there to where they can work a full day without having to drive. But yeah, it's a pretty large territory, and but we've got the personnel, and we've got multiple groups or teams that can go out and work on jobs. So we can have a crew in Harrison and a crew in Mountain View, and a crew in West Plains, and so
That's
we're
good.
scattered out all day.
We'll bring up another picture. This is a result of some water damage, and you said, Mark, this was what, extreme hot water?
Yeah, this was a house out on the lake, and it was a summer home, very large, and a water line in the upstairs bathroom, hot water line, just got a small leak, so it was basically just spraying out steam. For nobody had been in a house for 6 months when they found it like this, and so it could have been
the fan blades up at the top.
Yeah, the fan. There's so much humidity in that home that everything is just totally saturated. You can see on the floor how the drywall from the ceiling has fallen down on the floor because it just got so saturated that it just falls off the wall. And then of course mold. It doesn't take very long for mold to start growing. So that's what it looks like after we get done. So we basically took the house down to the studs, and
so Servpro does this.
We get it to that point, and at this time we'll have a contractor come back in and put it all in, but we're probably in the future we'll be doing that part as well.
Now, can the mold get into this area where the studs were at?
It's all been treated at this point. So when we've got all the visible out of the way, all that sheetrock and carpet and all that, once all that's gone, then we start working on the atmosphere, because that house is completely saturated. That concrete is saturated. So we have
the concrete.
Oh yeah, you just think of water for 6 months running. It's it sucks into the concrete as well. So we have dehumidifiers that will draw all that water out.
That's an interesting point that you make. Just a little tidbit, we gauge moisture content in all materials. That's one of the I guess the deciding factors in how we do what we do. That so every material that exists in a home has a goal or an acceptable moisture content level.
Even concrete.
Even concrete.
Yeah.
Concrete is actually a very wet material as far as moisture content on a regular basis because it's made from water.
That's true.
And so it has a higher content level than some other materials, but still it has what we call a dry goal. When we reach this level, we call it dry. And
Okay, Eric, I'm looking at this floor here in the picture. Can we throw that back up there, Scooter? You see that's a pretty smooth floor. What about a concrete block foundation? Is the concrete blocks more acceptable if you had a water leak under a house, and can they saturate more than this floor?
Well, if it's underneath the house, it's generally going to be an unconditioned space. It might be a crawl space. If it's truly on blocks, old school foundation, then it's definitely unconditioned because there's nothing to wall it in. But if it is a walled-in crawl space, it's still considered an unconditioned space because you don't have anything like HVAC running into that area to condition the atmosphere, to control the humidity and the temperature and make sure that things are don't get to where you saw this loss on the previous picture.
So I'm surprised though the concrete can be that susceptible to water.
Well, cinder block for sure, because cinder block is more porous.
Yeah.
And it'll draw the water in for sure. Now concrete floor, they usually have vapor barriers put into the the floor that makes a difference. But we're trying to, it's the envelope of the house that we're trying to dry it and get it back down to where we can consider it dry. And we use moisture detection, different types, to where we can the concrete, we've got a device that we can set on the concrete and determine what the percentage of is, and we've got a goal there that we're trying to get to that would be the normal dry for that house. We're trying to dry it to get to that, and it takes a lot longer to do to get concrete dry, but in that case we removed most everything that was wet, so you have your studs and all that that's saturated. So a house like that, in that situation, it takes a little extra time to get it dry down, but we get it to a point to where they can come back in and start working on the house and get it dry.
Here I've got a picture of some smoke damage.
Yeah.
And this is a total different page and different subject on how to handle.
Yeah, you can see the smoke lines on the wall there. That's the heat coming down from the ceiling down.
Really?
And that's a pretty good, just talking to some of the firemen that we deal with on these as well, that when you see that smoke line get down low like that, that house was very close to combustion, to where there's just so much heat that brings that smoke line down like that.
I'm gonna back out of that scooter and bring up another photo. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay.
So basically what we have to do on those is we have to clean. You can see the soot just ends up on everything, and it is thick.
Now the commode area, the countertop, that's all white.
Yeah, you can. The top of the counter is white. Yeah, the mirror, you can tell the same way. And the soot, there's different. There's science on the soot in a fire too, because
you're kidding.
There's probably the most common fire we see is what we call protein fire, which is catching the bacon on fire on the stove and
leaving the eggs boiling.
Yeah, something on the stove, and so that type of soot is ends up on everything, and it's just kind of gooey. And you really have to have a chemical that can cut through that.
How do you even start cleaning up something like that? I mean,
you start at the bottom. You start at the top and work to the bottom. And we have, even on the ceilings, when I first started, it amazed me. We have these sponges, and they're called dry sponges. And they're made, do you understand the scientifics of it? It's amazing. It just wipes the soot, off the walls and the ceilings, and it's a dry sponge.
Specific to our industry. you know, and you occasionally have a soot that is wet. We call it, you know, wet soot, because if you think about it, the fuel source of the fire determines what type of soot it's going to be. So if most of your fuel for the fire is wood building materials and sheetrock, things like that, then it's going to be typically a hotter fire, and the soot particles are going to be dry and fine. Whereas if
there's a lot of scientific analysis to determine how you guys come in.
We do test cleaning when we meet the the adjuster and the homeowner. At the very beginning when we first come in, we have samples of all the different cleaning agents that we use. And so we'll do test cleaning while they're there just to see, and we'll determine which one works the best. The dry, if it's a dry, you can use the sponges, or if it's a, wetter or, protein type, then we'll use a chemical to cut through it. But we'll determine that pretty much there in front of the homeowner and the adjuster, just to show them what it's going to look like.
Kind of gives them confidence that it actually can be cleaned.
Right.
Now this photo that's on the monitor here to our left, gentlemen.
Wow, that's a major hoarding. Now we run into
you have got to be
different levels of hoarding, but that was just hoarding. Unbelievable. And it was actually a fire. It was a kitchen fire, but you couldn't.
This is in the kitchen?
Yeah, that's in the kitchen actually. And
they wouldn't dump the trash?
And yeah, who knows why, but that's just the way it ended up in that person's mind. And the stove was in the back. You couldn't get to it, so it had to have been electrical fire of some type, and probably a rodent that cut through it. But we had to remove all of that. And
here's the aftershot here after.
Yeah.
So you guys had to go clean that mess up.
We did, and of course, we had to protect our workers, and so. Our guys are in basically spacesuits, and they're working to.
That'd be almost hazmat situation.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't just scoop it out because, it looks like this trash to us, but there's personal belongings mixed in with that, and so you kind of have to filter it.
Oh, come on!
And
it's time consuming.
It is. It is very time consuming. And
you basically had to sort it out, is what you're trying not to say.
We did. We had to go through it, and I mean, there was all kinds of personal belongings. They found paychecks. They found cash in the little envelopes, like you go to the the teller to get it out. And you never know why it ended up like that. But we're not there to judge. We're there to take care of it for them, and hopefully after. They see what their kitchen can look like, then, maybe it won't go back like that.
Yeah, occasionally we can actually help someone get a fresh start in a situation like this. I mean, it's more than just a property service. We're really serving people.
Yeah, you are.
And
doing it very well. We need to take a break. More Servpro. Mark and Eric's here from Servpro. Be right back. When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrub stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop.
The Party Spot venue and DJ service. Contact Tammy Reynolds for your next holiday or special event.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
And we're finishing out the program with Mark and Eric from Servpro. Servpro here in Mountain Home on Highway 5 South. What's that exact address on 5 South?
It's 3918 5 South. It's between Dean's Top and Canvas and the new Dollar General.
Yeah.
We're right in between. If you're going south on 5, it's kind of hard to see because the right-of-way is kind of grown up, so you just see our driveway, and there we are. We're a little bit off the road, but we've got a 12,000 square foot warehouse, because in many cases and we do a lot of commercial too, so we have to get items out of the way to so we can get in and work. So there's
what do you mean commercial? What do you do commercial?
Well, we do, it's funny. We talk about it in our warehouse because one year we did a church to where we had to remove all the pews. So you walk through the warehouse and, all the pews are, and the guys kind of set them up just like a church. So you walk through and there's, pews. And so we have to get those out of the way so we can get the carpet up and, get the floor dry.
Huh.
And then another time we did a Mexican restaurant. So we had all the tables and booths in the warehouse. So the look of our warehouse changes considerably. but yeah, on commercial, it's a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of times there might be a fire in the kitchen, or they'll have a water loss of some type. We've done some of the large manufacturing facilities in town. They have different things happen, the water loss or sewage backup or something like that, to where we can go in and take care of that for them. So we're all over that, and that we do that throughout our whole area. And if we get into something that's it's going to take more manpower than what we have in Mountain Home, then that's where we'll call Eric, and they can assist us with with more crews and more equipment. If it was a hotel in town or something that you have to dry every room and every hallway, and it just takes a lot of equipment for a job like that, then these guys are just on speed dial, and they can be here in half a day. They can have a crew here, and they have
that's impressive to be able to respond in that fashion,
right,
and that speed, and be as professional. Because even what I had, the small amount of, I want to say, damage that I had due to the pet and the medical,
right,
came in, and you guys were there maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, that's probably about right for.
And came in, got the job done, and man, what a difference.
Well, and what's crucial on the commercial end of it is, they want to know when everything's going, they can be back in business.
Exactly.
And, residential, we still have the priority for everything we do, but, a lot of times for homeowners, insurance company will put them up in a hotel.
Sure.
while we're doing ours. Well, in commercial, they've still got payrolls, and they need to get back in business. So their biggest concern is how quick. So that's where we'll lean on these guys, because if we tried to attempt a 50,000 square foot warehouse and we were just using the equipment we have on hand, it's going to take a lot longer. But we can get these guys in, and half a day they can be here with an 18-wheeler full of equipment.
So Eric, hypothetically, we've got like Hampton Inn, Holiday Inn Express, we've got Ramada Inn. Let's say you've got 2 to 3 floors. Let's say 3 floors. And on the 3rd floor, somebody's smoking in bed, the bed catches fire, you got smoke damage, and you got to come in with a 3-floor hotel. I don't know, how many rooms on the average per floor? I don't know, say you got 60 rooms, 20, 20. How long will it take for you to get a crew, get in, come into the Mountain Home area and say, okay, boys,
Sure. Well, just to kind of shed some light on how it works, every Servpro has a capacity, okay? depending on size and maturity for the actual local Servpro office. And once they reach that, or if they walk into a situation and they know, here's our capacity, this job is X amount larger than our capacity, then we're instantly mobilizing whatever personnel we need. And there's a model for that in the industry as well as in our Servpro culture. And we'll mobilize the resources, like you were saying. We'll bring 53-foot trailer with the resources to produce it according to what the scope of the loss is. And once we walk that, it all depends on kind of the needs of the customer. Sometimes they want to continue to rent the rooms that are not affected, but if the entire hotel is affected, it might be sometimes 2-3 week project depending on how much they're going to replace, because sometimes they'll take advantage of that to say, you know what, while we are in this mode, we're not doing business, what's another 3-4 days, let's go ahead and gut a few of these rooms and we'll have some new sheetrock put up, or we'll remodel, we'll put new carpet in, whatever. That happens a lot of times in a loss like this. It depends on their needs and their wants once you get into the scope of work, but typically a week at least in a loss like that, sometimes 2 or 3.
And they've got some different techniques on they have some like trailer mounted equipment instead of having the little individual dehumidifiers and fans like we have. They have some larger equipment that's more specialized for that type of making it a little bit easier for the job, a little quicker than what we would do on a residential job. So we've got them to cover us, and so without our whole service territory that we're looking at a moment ago, anything that happens within that area, then we can have these guys respond and be there and get them back in business and up and going just as quick as possible.
I'm amazed. Okay, we got about 6 minutes left here before we end the program here. What have I overlooked? Mark's got a lot of notes here. Something that I have not brought to the attention of the viewers today.
Well, a big part of what we do is emergency service, because things don't happen, during 8 to 5. So, we have guys on call 24/7, 7 days a week. And so if something happens, don't put it off. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you step out of the bed and the carpet's wet,
squish,
then
it happens.
Like Eric was talking about before, we built these relationships with insurance companies. So we've been, kind of pre-approved on emergency services. What we're trying to do is to lessen secondary damage, which means, if you've had a water loss, so you've got water in your bedroom, you've got very expensive furniture in there. So the most important thing is to get that furniture either out of the water or up off of the water. So what our guys will do, they'll come in the middle of the night and what we call block the furniture. And we have these little styrofoam blocks like we did on your house. And we, we'll get all that furniture up out of the water, because insurance companies.
Can you imagine that antique radio being in water?
Oh yeah, definitely, because it wouldn't take very long for that water to wick up through that wood.
Yeah.
So that's our main. Of course, we're gonna, if it's a water loss, we're gonna get the water out, extract the water first, and then we're gonna get all that equipment, up out of the water. Probably get a couple, a dehumidifier or 2 in there, just to, we've got to get the atmosphere back under control before we can start the drying process.
Yeah.
So, that's a crucial part of what we do is the emergency service.
Well, I have to admit, I was very impressed. Went out to talk to you and who, gentleman?
Mike Veerling.
Mike, that's right, Mike.
He's the owner.
I can't impress on the viewers how impressed I was with the attitude, the servitude, and the professionalism of Servpro right here in Mountain Home.
Well, good. That's what we like to hear.
And I thought, you guys are all right.
Well, it's.
I mean, you know your stuff.
As a homeowner myself, it can make you very depressed about all the things that can happen in the house. What we see day in and day out. I go home at night and I look to make sure that dishwasher looks okay and the toilet's flushing okay, But
plumbing
you know,
has got to be a nightmare.
It is, and I mean, there's so many different ways that something can go wrong, and you know, we get the call a lot of times where you know, something happens in, say, like a kitchen, and the homeowner will get a shop vac and vacuum up the water, and then you know, everything's in their mind, everything's good. But unfortunately, in our area, a big part of the construction routine in our area is particle board floors, and we see it day in and day out.
And they kind of fall apart when they get wet, don't they?
They kind of get bumpy. So in a few, you know, usually in a few days, you know, we'll get the call that, you know, they thought they had taken care of it, but then that particle board got wet, and you know, it starts, you know, falling apart on them. And you know, it's crucial when you're, you know, when you're doing an insurance claim, that you know, it's your home, and you know, you're responsible for making the decisions. And you know, a lot of times, you know, we see claims get denied because it was, you know, it was considered a maintenance issue on a house. You know, if your roof's leaking, and you know your roof's leaking, and then you know, you can start noticing your floor, well, they're probably not going to cover that because it was, it's negligent. It was, you know, it's a maintenance issue. They should have taken care of the roof. So, you know, as a homeowner, you've got certain responsibilities as well.
That's right.
And, you know, and the crucial thing is if something like that happens, you know, especially, I don't think, do you guys have particle board like we do here? I mean, it's like 99% of the houses we do is particle board.
We do have particle board, but I think the thing we run into more than that is the cheaper laminate flooring.
Yeah.
That is going to immediately absorb the water, and it's basically pressed cardboard, pressed paper. You know, that some of those floors are made out of these days. But
I bet you guys have nightmares working.
It's not much.
It's like leaving your newspaper in the floor in you know, in standing water. It's just going to deteriorate. That's what some of the floors do.
About a minute and a half before we close the show, gentlemen. Mark Tyer and Eric Greene here from Servpro, and let's talk how people can get in touch with you if they want to hire you directly or indirectly through insurance. Real quick, got about a minute and 15 seconds.
Well, I mean, locally, of course, we're, you know, Google and everything else, but in, you know, Yellow Pages, we're in there as well. Our phone's 424-0296. Our email is servpro9840@hotmail.com. We have a Facebook page that that we react to. We get, you know, notifications through it from time to time, and you know, we just want everyone to know that we're there for you. You know, these things happen. You know, they happen to super nice houses, and they happen to, you know, little small homes. But, you know, we can handle whatever project comes on out there, and we just appreciate, Dale, you having us on.
You bet, my pleasure.
Absolutely, thank you.
Eric Greene, Mark Tyer of Servpro in Mountain Home. That wraps it up. Hope you have a very good day today, and we will be back tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. So long. And we're coming back live just to kind of reiterate what we filmed yesterday with Mark Tyer and Eric Greene of Servpro. Once again, you can call them at 870-424-0296. And hey, they really helped me out. And I tell you what, they're top notch. They're top notch. Real quick, here's their service area. Once again, as you saw in the earlier part of yesterday's video. And they service over to Harrison, Bull Shoals, Yellville, down to Marshall, Mountain View, Melbourne, Horseshoe Bend, Salem, Ash Flat, Thayer, up into West Plains, Gainesville, and Bakersfield, areas like that. And so lots of information there. Have you ever had water damage like that?
No, I haven't.
I'll tell you what, it can, man.
Let me get that off the screen there.
It can drive you up the wall.
We did have a water leak in a cabin that we had, but it destroyed the floor and the actual wood floor and stuff. We had to get redone. But
and Servpro serves Baxter, Boone, Fulton, Marion counties. They're right here in Mountain Home on Highway 5 South, 3918 Arkansas 5 South, 424-0296. I'm very pleased to have had them on the program. Anyway, we've got some cold weather coming up later today.
We do.
Or later in the week.
Later in the week.
Yeah. I was watching during, well, the previous thing was recorded yesterday, and I was watching Channel 11 on Facebook, and they say we could get a little bit of stuff, but the winter storm is really not predicted to hit us. It's up in Missouri again, so keep your fingers crossed. You know, we can put up with a few days of cold temperatures.
The youth is supposed to be headed to Springfield this weekend.
You're
so
gonna
that
be cold
may
in Springfield, let me tell you.
Yeah, they're calling for a little snow up in that area of the
There you
woods,
go.
but we should be all right here, I think.
All right, we're back live, and we want to wish everybody a nice, warm, happy Tuesday, the 15th. Of course, governor's going to be inaugurated at noon, second term. Sessions in going full swing in Little Rock. So, got to run. We will see you all tomorrow. Thanks.